Hey guys, how's it going, man? Today I would like to talk about the importance of getting a string machine. Now, your tennis might be pretty good, it's pretty interesting, you're kicking ass, things like that. But however, if you cannot control your own equipment, man, if you cannot control how much tension you have or the strings quality you have, you're always going to be a amateur, no matter how good you are, unless you have your own stringer. And now this is the stringer that I want to tell you that you should get. Now, um, this is obviously from the tennis spin, like the guy called tennis spin, but this is exactly the stringer that you're looking for. Now, they have the same ones in the Chinese mix it, and it works pretty much the same. You can see it's a 6 point or 6 something point, like mounting ones. That's all that really matters. It keeps your racket in place. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. I think these are two like pointing ones. These are two as well, here and here. But I think they call it 6 point. Doesn't really matter. What you're looking for is that this is a semi-stationary one, and you can adjust the racket. You could even do badminton on this, or squash. But I don't know. I don't use it. I don't do badminton and squash on this. But yes, this is exactly what you need. You don't need a like electric stringer or stuff like that. You don't need one of those like huge Babolat stringers. No, this is the one that you need and get consistency of it. So basically, these are very flexible. You get a big racket, small rackets. You just move the mounts here at the front and things like that. And most of the times, you don't even have to move it, because most rackets are 100 square inch, and you just have to move, these on the sides. It's very simple. These are great designs. These are all very simple design. Get the Chinese ones. These are the ones that will work, because the Chinese ones, they work exactly the same. That's exactly what I got. And hey, if you want to pay more for it, that's fine. But until you become anything else. So this is a manual crank one. It's very simple. It saves you strings, and it's easy. You just do the tension right here, and you good to go, man. That's the same one I got. It's not the first one I got. This is the one that I got later, and I think it's way better in terms of like longevity of it. So if any of these things break, all you have to do is calling the manufacturer, say, hey, I broke this. Hey, something is not working. Can you repair it? And a lot of times they can do it. And that's the best part, especially Chinese ones, man. They are very willing. You might think they're cheap and stuff like that, but it's good. This is called a stationary mount. You could buy this, or you don't have to buy it, depending if you have a table. So it's really, in a way, you also save a lot of spaces. So it can be a tabletop. Just seeing the top half, you see it? That's all really matters. You don't need the bottom part. So if you live in a city, or live in Miami, that's all really matters. So now you're just putting it on into place. Now look at all these clamps. Like, they look like lobster clamps, right? These are cool, but you just have to make sure when you're weaving these strings, you wouldn't get caught up with it, because a lot of times, even today, I get caught up with it sometimes, and then so it gets stuck in between, like while you're between other strings, if you're actually not careful enough. And especially if you're not like stringing it every single day, then you're gonna kind of forget or do it wrong. But this guy, the tennis spin guy, he hasn't told you so first. First of all, you have to measure. And let's say this is a 16 by 19 racket. So the 16 part, you have to do 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until you see 16, and then you cut it off. So like, that's how many like strands that you need, like the 16 times. And then you start off either in the middle or on the top. This, sometimes you need to adjust it. Usually you just have to adjust it once, then it's usually fine. You know, you're only doing 16, 17 gauges. Most people are not doing 19 gauges or 20 gauges. No, none of that, right? So in the beginning, it's all pretty much the same. There's no tension behind it. I usually just put like two clamps together and just like pull it using two strings, the both ends of the strings, and pull it together. And I pull it tighter here. You know, usually like let's say for example the tension is 60, I put 64 because like I want to start off pretty strong. You know what I'm saying? So here, because that's the thing. Everybody strings it a little bit differently, and then the worst part is like, you know why I got the one of these is because everybody is lazy toward the end. They just string it whatever they can, and they string at the worst type of tension. Sometimes they don't even put a tension in, not on every single string. It's so lazy, you know what I'm saying? People become so lazy. You just wouldn't believe it. After you actually pull the trigger, this is pulling the trigger, it's like you hear a snapping sound right here. That's when you stop. That's when you put the clamp back in. You hear it, bam, you know, kind of thing. It's also safest, you know what I'm saying? It's also very safe. You wouldn't get hurt by it. You wouldn't pop it with your hand. It just cranks. It's a little bit slower than, slightly a little bit slower than in the electric one. But trust me, you don't need it in the electric one. It's pretty much the same speed, you know? Now, I like to start off like both bottom with already tensioned first. He's supposed to go, now, he's trying to go above it. He's supposed to go underneath it. There we go, he's going underneath it. But sometimes, like I said, I get a little bit lazy. I go above it as well. It's a small differences. I don't think it makes a huge difference. But if you want to be technical, that's fine. And now you put the tension in there. I really like to put like the tension on the mains first, and then I work on this the third and fourth strand together. And I like to pull it tighter in the middle. Like let's say for example on tension 60, then I put in the beginning all these in the main strings it's 64. So I make sure I don't miss anything, you know. I always feel like on the ends, like on the ties, I always feel like I'm not doing such a great job, so I always want to put on a higher tension, you know. So I'm just sharing. Compared to these guys, maybe they are more pro than I am. But my experiences into creating better stringing experiences for my own self, you know. And now there's nothing to it. Mains are very easy. Mains are just doing all of it until you get it to a skip hole. And now they're doing the crosses. The toughest thing about the crosses is weaving your first string. The first string, you have to go over it and then come back and make this little tie knot. After that is all about weaving. It's very annoying the first time. You will find like, you know, you don't know if you're weaving correctly and things like that. Sometimes you actually get repeating the wrong ones. You actually skip the hole accidentally. But sooner or later you will actually get that hand-eye coordination to weave correctly on the crosses. Now I got a 16 by 19 racket, so I got to weave extra, another 19 more strands. Yeah, make sure you don't get caught with other holes. That's the thing. That's what we're saying. See, now you're weaving it, one down, one down. And then you make sure that you are not repeating the same pattern as the string before that. Then you're good. Yeah, these are all very tedious process. About string rackets. Definitely for sure. And you have to do it all the way. There's no skip holes anymore, so you just do it all the way until the last one. Now the last one, let's see if we could like fast forward to the very last one. You cannot skip anything here nowadays. In the beginning, you could skip, like I pull 2 strings at once. I like it better. The first 4 strings I could put. I feel like it's the machine could handle it pretty good. After that, I just put individually every single string. And then now is the knot on the before I actually tie the knot, I actually use a tensioner to tension it up first before I really tie it. So to me, that's how I think like I could get the maximum amount of tightness, because I feel like my hands are not that well coordinated. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, but I think he did a 1-pack kind of thing. I do a 2. Usually I do a 2-pack because I always blend it with something else just to keep myself interesting. Yeah, but that's basically it. I mean, you could look at a lot of details of like how to do this, on how to string, how to do a the strings hose. Yeah, but that's where it is. Usually, I'll check it one more time before I actually tie everything up, because I may have quote unquote messed it up. Yeah, it's now beautiful, man. I mean, like, really is using your own string machine. It does work beautiful a lot of the times. A lot of the times, man. It really does, man. I mean, it's just it's a fact that other people string like crap. Thanks very much, everything. Talk to you later. Bye.